Okay, everybody, welcome back to our second and final live stream of today. Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are in the Zlin Aviation Savage Cub. We'll be departing out of... Good morning, Amela. We'll be departing out of this little airport here, Pine Mountain Lake in Groveland. And we'll be making our way... Let me just do some admin here. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and get in here and get the weather turned off. So, because the weather has not been fixed yet. All right.
Echo 45 traffic Froggy 2377 taking off runway 9er, departing straight out.
Okay. There's that. And oops. All right, let's see here. Minimize that. All right, here we go. Let's make sure we got our strobe on. Recognition. All right, just have a quick look around here. Let's get airborne. What I should have done all right, there we go. I think we're settled down now. Hello again, Sue. Welcome.
Echo 45 traffic Froggy 2377 1 miles east, 3,500 feet inbound to land runway 27.
We are not landing. Nope. No. I don't know how that happened.
Oakland Center Froggy 2377 is type Savage SAVG 1 miles southeast of Echo 45, 3,900 feet. Request flight following. Froggy 2377 Oakland Center. Squawk 0566. Squawk 0566 Froggy 2377.
I don't know why he's not
Froggy
talking.
2377 radar contact 2 miles southeast of Echo 45, 4,300 feet. Altimeter 29er decimal 9er 2.
All right. Well, it said should have made a note which. All right, we'll look here. Looks it's one of the it's a I guess it's like a bush plane, as they call it here in America, Sue. It's just a very small, short, could take off and land on very short fields, grass or dirt, pretty much anything. So, yeah, it's, I'm just trying to get an idea of. Okay, there's the map. Satellites. Take it from that way. So we want to go. Okay, so there's a pickup. Okay, we are right there. Should have put a marker. All right, we just gotta find. Let's go over by that town right there, and then we'll. Buck Meadows. I think. I should have put a marker, a waypoint marker, so I knew which way to head. There's a highway. If we can find that road. I think that's it right here. Just follow that, and that'll take us to Yosemite Valley. Hello again, Bex. Yeah, it's just I try to find these little planes that are kind of easy to, for all intents and purposes, are kind of easy to fly, Sue, especially for stuff like this. I can't do it in anything super quick, so that would kind of defeat the purpose. So we just have a nice, relaxing flight here. I can get this thing to kind of level off and okay. So yeah, we'll terrain associate and find our way there. Kind of feel like that's the points way off in the distance, but I think those are small airports. I don't know where Mick was in the farm sim stream, Amela, for a short bit. Chris was there too, so was Pulse, but they all kind of disappeared, so I don't know where they're at or what's going on. So if they're here, they're here. If not, it's perfectly fine. I understand it's Sunday and it's probably it's definitely lunchtime there, so I think that's where most people are, is lunchtime. Always watch it on the replay. Watch it later if you want to. Right, kind of looking the way this curves. So there is an airport out by Mono Lake that I think that's where we'll call in for our landing request. When we're ready to land. Should be a nice. We'll kind of go around Mono Lake as well. If you don't know what any of these places are, I highly suggest that you take the time to Google them, just to get a sense of what we're going to be flying around. I'm pretty sure most everybody, unless you are so secluded you don't know, Yosemite certainly is a very well-known location. Thanks in large part to Ansel Adams' photography of the area. But Mono Lake is its own interesting wonder. Right, it seems like now the plane is finally deciding to settle down a little bit. So if I can get a little bit of altitude drop so we have a nice view once we turn into the valley here. There's that river. Looking for landmarks here that make it a little bit easier to know where we're at in relation to Yosemite Valley. There's Mariposa Yosemite Airport. I think that one's a little bit closer. So I think we're in the right, heading generally in the right direction here. Of course, out yonder you have the northern part of the, well, basically you have the Central Valley out here. Where a lot of the agricultural areas of California are located, other than, of course, good old Napa with the wineries. for Mariposa of Yosemite Valley. Living in the Bay Area, I drove out here twice in my lifetime. Definitely like to go back again. It's really quite inspiring to visit there. Of course, whenever there's wildfires, this area has been a few times, I think, has had to been evacuated. I think that's it out there. Let me look up Mariposa, Yosemite. Let's see where we're near. In relation to the airports. Okay, yep. You're headed the right direction. So we are going to basically turn in here. The valley is to the east of us. Make a nice kind of a lazy left turn here to head towards the valley. There's the major river there that flows through here. I can't remember the name of that river. I can tell you for sure, if you get car sick very easily, the drive out to the valleys can be a bit a bit tough for people who get car sick very easily, because it's a lot of turns and all kinds of stuff. So, but if you can suffer through it, the view and everything that you will experience when you get there is absolutely phenomenal. Alright, I think we're doing okay. Chat's kind of died out again. Oh well. That's alright. Tomorrow we'll be in the Greek Isles. We'll be taking the flight. We'll be landing out there in Castel Lorizo. It's one of the most challenging approaches when it comes to landings. So we will see how well we fare in the Islander. I'm here just listening. Okay. So yeah, that should be a good flight tomorrow morning in the Greek Isles. And then Tuesday we've got Rhodos to Santorini. And then Wednesday we're flying from Chester to Concord in the King Air 350i. Should be a nice little flight. And that will be a little bit later in the morning on Wednesday. I'm going to go do an appointment first thing. And as soon as I get back home, I'll go live. And we'll do that flight and have fun. Oh, you're not interrupting. Oh, don't think that you're interrupting. you've got a question or comment, do share. If I can answer it, I will, as long as it's reasonable. Ooh, a little bit of a bump there. All right. I think if we just keep heading this way, we'll eventually. I'm being nosy on Facebook. Okay, that's not always a good thing, I don't think. I very rarely ever go on Facebook anymore, and I feel bad because I try to, there's people that I've known for quite some time that I try to acknowledge their birthdays, and I feel bad that I haven't. Yeah, I don't miss, I used to go on there constantly, and it's not very healthy. I gave up Twitter a long time ago. Yeah, I'm just trying to like get away from social media as much as possible. It's become so toxic that it's not very sociable, for lack of a better term. This doing this flight kind of reminds me of when I was a kid and weekends, do the family drive on the weekends, like a Saturday or Sunday, go somewhere, like we'd go around Muir Woods and stuff like that. You feel trapped in the car. Exactly, Mella. You feel trapped and you don't have. It's kind of like it's boring and all that. Certainly if my dad flew or whatever, I think it'd be much more exciting to see these places from the air versus the driving, because you just feel like the driving lasts forever, and it's just like you can't get there fast enough, and it's just like I think that marker there, that should be, I believe that's the valley right there, basically right off the tip of the tail there. I think we're finally heading the correct direction, so we're kind of slowly losing altitude, which is good. So hopefully by the time we get there, we're just a smidge closer to the... Not like we were the other day in... there's El Capitan just rendered in right there, I believe. So we are definitely... We found the right spot. Yeah, but it's nice to kind of share... because these are all, what I try to do is find places that either share something, a place where I've been, or a place that we'd all that seems interesting, kind of like Paris and, stuff like that, where it's, we may never get a chance to go see it in real life, but, it's fun to fly around. Certainly, I am enjoying the runs through the Mach Loop. I don't think Bex likes it nearly as much. But yeah, really enjoying those flights, because it's fun just to. Now I think, and I'm gonna do some research, because once we kind of run out of stuff to fly through the Mach Loop, which is going to happen pretty soon, I think there's an American version of the Mach Loop. I don't know where it is, but I'm gonna research that, and we'll kind of restart the process, and we'll fly through the American version of the Mach Loop and have some fun with that. I can also tell you, if you come to visit Yosemite, which I highly recommend if you ever get a chance to do so, just look, do the research ahead of time, and find out what is like the busiest times of the year, because in the past, and unless things have really slowed down because of COVID, you would be the wait to get in is sometimes can be quite long. So I would recommend that if you do ever go, plan well in advance. Try to get there a little bit early so you can get in, get a parking spot, have time to walk around. There's plenty of hiking paths and everything that will take you through some of the most scenic parts of Yosemite. I definitely recommend bring a camera, not just your phone, but bring a camera, and just enjoy the scenery and everything. It's well worth it. And again, of course, when you're a kid, you don't ever appreciate these things until you're older, and you're just like, man, I could go back and just spend a couple days. And I think you can actually camp there as well. So if you like the outdoors and camping is something that you're interested in doing, they do, I think, offer camping sites. So yeah, good stuff. El Portal. Okay, we should be. Yep, we are headed the right direction. Because that is the town. Yeah, a little town there in the valley. It must get pretty cold there in the winter, but you got this nice, the scenery that would be here though during the winter. If the lake or the river freezes up a little bit, and oh man, that would be amazing. All right, let's close that since we know we are on the right direction. Oh, it's a really amazing place. And growing up in the Bay Area and just California in general, when you're a resident of the state, you kind of take a lot of these things for granted. You're just like, Yosemite, Muir Woods, Golden Gate Bridge, blah 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 blah. But when you're from there, but you don't live there anymore, it takes on I think it feels like a different dynamic altogether. And it's certainly I wish I could go back, but it's if I ever get a chance to, I'd like to spend a couple days there at a minimum. If I could, it would be at least a week, because and I think kind of Ansel Adams discovered this when he was photographing Yosemite. Every day, at every moment in Yosemite Valley, the light is very different, and in order to capture it, it's one of those places that you have to be patient. It teaches you to, I guess in a way, it's like it teaches you some mindfulness. You're there in the moment. And, when I think about when I went up to Buttermilk Falls a couple years back up by Ithaca, New York, and I was taking pictures using infrared film there at Buttermilk Falls. And the first time I went, I had never shot infrared film, so I didn't quite know what to expect. And then the second time I went, I drove up there early, parked, walked down to a spot. There was like this stone bridge that goes over the river as it goes downhill towards Buttermilk Falls, which is absolutely amazing on its own. And I just sat there and waited. And I waited, for at least an hour and a half. There was nobody that I saw. I was just sitting there by myself, and it was just me and the flowing water. And, you know, most people, that would just unnerve them, like, the sun's got to, we got to hurry up, we got to take the picture, you know, I've got other things to do. But coming to a place like this, I think it gives you, you've got to be patient and just enjoy the time and the scenery and everything, because otherwise you're not going to really appreciate it. So yeah, I think if you ever get a chance to go, it does kind of, it makes you slow down and look. And the crazy thing is, there's not enough detail for you to take in. You know, there's always something, a different view of like El Capitan or Yosemite Falls or whatever, that you just think, you know, the last view is like, oh, this is amazing, and then you find one that's even better, and you're like, oh, you know, it's just, it's one of those places, I think it makes you patient, and I think sometimes we need that. Yep, there's El Capitan. Hopefully it's going to render in real nice as we get closer. We'll see. You know, because a lot of people would ask me when I showed those photos of Buttermilk Falls, ooh, getting a little, the plane's doing a little dance. People ask me, like, how did you do that? And I said, well, part of it was just, you have to be patient and just, you know, wait for the right moment, or as right as it's ever going to be at that particular time. But I think that's kind of lost on people now, that sense of taking your time and just being patient. I'm getting all zen and shit. But I think that's one of the things, I think that's what even Ansel Adams was trying to teach us, was, you know, even though he wasn't like a zen sort of person, I think that's what he was aiming for, was that moment of, you know, because he had to be patient when he took all those photos. And he didn't have like a whole roll of film. It was, you know, he was using a large format camera, so he had to be very he had to be spot on what he was trying to do. You know, he couldn't waste the film. He couldn't run down to the local CVS and get another roll of film and go back. You know. All right, come on, El Capitan. I need you. There we go. You got El Capitan, and Half Dome is there in the distance, it looks like. Hopefully it'll render in well as we get closer. There is a trail, I think, is it El Capitan or Half Dome? You don't have to climb up the rock, but there is a path, if you are brave enough. There is a path that will take you, I think, along the side up to the top of El Capitan. It is not for the faint of heart. It is not for, yeah, it's not a simple hike. It's going to really, you got to be in really good shape to do it. But I would imagine that the views you would get would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, I am not a big fan of heights. If I was anywhere near the edge, I think I'd probably pass out, quite honestly. Now, down below, I think at some point you do find there's like a visitor center, and then there's the Ansel Adams Gallery has like a yeah. Oh, nice, Sue. Yeah. there's the visitor center, the Ansel Adams Gallery, kind of the showroom. You can buy prints there. You can just buy posters, of the prints. You don't have to buy like the high-end edition, But and then I think if you want to go camping there, like the people that you would see for the camping are in that same building. But yeah, there we go. There's El Capitan. Ooh, going right over these rocks right here. Look at that. Uh-oh. Well, we're not going to try to do barrel rolls or... Now, on a side note... Oh, wow, we were getting a lot of wind through here, even though I turned the weather off. It's quite crazy. Yep, there's Yosemite Valley right there. That's where the... So you kind of drive through here, but at some point... oh, there's Yosemite Village. That's where the visitor center and all that is. But you drive through here. And of course, there's places you can pull over and take pictures and whatnot. Yeah, there's the road in right there, I do believe, because there's a bridge that goes over that river. But, oh, what would be fun, though? I'm just thinking out loud here. It would be fun. I'm not going to lie. If we took the F-15 through here, could you imagine? I'm almost half tempted to do it after we get to Mono Lake and just hop over into the F-15 and just go blasting through here as fast as possible, just for fun. Might be worth doing. I don't know if Bex's stomach could handle it, though, a second day in a row. Especially if we flew inverted right through here. Oh, look at that. The sun's coming up. Well, it's just something to think about. I don't know. I might have to do it one day, though, just for fun. Well, because I look, whenever we fly around, I try to find like those, bridges that we could fly under, and I still got to go back. And I think it was when we toured Lisbon. I know it was in Spain. We flew around some mountains, and there was some bridges. There was like the way that the area was shaped. You had kind of like a valley that went downhill. And there was all these bridges, and I'm like, I told Mick, and I gotta go find that video, because I was like, man, it would be great if we could fly through the Spitfire, just come in and just follow that, like there's a river and everything, just follow it down and just go. But it would be really. I try to find those little things to do just to kind of make things a little bit interesting. But I do understand that it's not everybody's cup of tea. Well, that's kind of rendering a little bit nicely. There's the Half Dome. I think the Half Dome was seemed to be Ansel Adams' favorite subject between that and El Capitan. But I mean, it would be fun to kind of fly through here in an F-15 and just try not to crash and just have a bit of fun. Not that it would ever be allowed in real life. People would absolutely lose their minds if it ever happened in real life. Because the sound alone, even if they weren't, even without the afterburners, the sound coming through here would just be absolutely insane. Good morning, Captain Matty. I think it would be quite. We got some falls there. Yeah, the sound alone would be just crazy. So. All right, climb up out of here just a bit, but at least we got a nice view of. I want to try to go up to the left here and get a cloud's rest. Never got that far into Yosemite Valley, but that sounds like an absolutely amazing place. It's like we're climbing, but we're not climbing fast enough. It's going to be a... Okay, Captain Matty. Thank you. I would have to look at that another time. Ooh, we're going to just go right above the trees here. Ooh-wee. There we go. Look at that. A little bit of treetop flying here in Yosemite Valley. Oh, look at that view. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Hold on to your seat backs. Oh, this worked out rather well. Zephyr's, yes, thank you. It is. It's absolutely, Yosemite is absolutely amazing. And I picked the right time because now the sun is coming up, it seems, a little bit higher, so we get this nice light along the half dome here. Look at that. Look at that. Where else in the world are you going to get a nice tour of Half Dome this close? There you go. Look at that. Where? Oh, we're going to get another one. Look at that. I picked the right time. I'm hoping I didn't screw this up and it's like late afternoon. I think the sun's coming up. Correction, it's called Wales. The Mock Loop. Yeah, Maddie, that's where I was yesterday. In the Eurofighter. The second part of the... after we flew the Spitfire. Said so right in the title. Every Saturday, after we do the Spitfire flight, we go flying through the Mock Loop. I'm at the roaring sounds of... Oh! Yeah, that would be, but it would never be allowed to begin with. I think environmentally, it would cause the wildlife. It would freak them out quite severely, I would imagine. So yeah, that would not be tolerated. But the great thing is, in a flight sim, we could do it and just have a bit of fun. But yeah, otherwise it would not be. Maybe the sun is setting. Oh, I think I messed this up. Let's go to here. Yeah, I did. Not that I don't mind a sunset setting, but which just gave us a really nice picture. But there we go. Now we have a bit more. We can see a bit more here. But that was a nice sunset area. I thought I changed it enough where it was going to be we were going to have a nice morning flight, but it turned out to be an afternoon flight. That's okay. We can adjust it again and have enough light, because this plane doesn't have a lot of lights to it. So once it gets dark, it's kind of hard to see the instruments. There's not a light panel or anything, so I kind of like to land in the daytime with this. It's a little bit easier to see the airport as well, because most of the time, a lot of the smaller airports, they're not open, so there's not anybody to talk to, and I'm sure most private ones, there's a way that you can something you could do to trigger the runway lights. But cloud rest, I wonder if that's just the name it gave it, because the clouds would basically, it seemed like the clouds would rest up here. There we are, look at that. What do you reckon, Bex? Think you could just take a piece of cardboard and go sliding down that hill to the bottom? Who wants to do that? Somebody's got to be brave enough to do it. Alright, we'll continue on through here. Head out towards Mono Lake. And then we'll call in for a landing. Put this thing on the ground and call it a day. Oh. What a Bella. Pardon me just for a quick second. I gotta take a swig of water here. Oh yeah, that's exactly it. I knew there was some way that you could trigger the runway lights, but yeah. If it involves, I'm guessing if it involves food, I'm up for it. Bella, your fingers are working faster than your brain, I think. But I think you meant food, not good. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Because it's you. I knew you meant food, Amela. Of course, if it involves food, you're up for just about anything. Well, Mick, if you're lurking over on Twitch, I'm hoping you're enjoying this. Hopefully it brings a little bit of happiness to you while you're recovering. And hopefully if the missus is watching, she's enjoying this as well. Tenaya Lake. So there's the lake, then flows down into the river there through the valley. Alright. We'll go back this way. And I gotta figure out where we pick up Mono Lake at. That's one area that I wish I could have visited. I'd like to go out there and see that as well. It's its own unique place in California. In fact, just Google it. Get an idea. Oops. Okay, so it's past park, I think. Gotta zoom in here and get a look at the Alright, so once we come out of the valley, oh, there's Fairview Dome. Not quite as famous as its cousin, Half Dome. Oh, it's a cute little dome. Now there is an airport nearby, Mono Lake. Once we find it, then we'll look around, see where we can land. I think Mono Lake's just past, gotta find Fairview Dome and I'll know where we are. I kinda feel like I know, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, not everything's labeled here on Google Maps, so it's kind of hard to... But I think once we come out of the valley here, I think we just got to go straight a little bit longer, and then we'll... I knew I shouldn't have put news on Back to Red October. I try to fly quite a few of them. I don't have I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. I will have an upcoming... Okay, Captain Maddie. Hopefully it goes well. Yeah, I don't... There's some that I haven't flown yet, but I've flown this one. I've flown the Bird Dog, the Cub Crafters. I know there's a couple more that I haven't even touched yet. Dog Lake. Okay, I think if we just keep flying through here, we'll eventually hit Mono Lake. think there's the road that takes us out of here. But once we get out of the mountains here, I think once it should kind of open up and it should be kind of easy to spot the area, I think. I think that's Dogview Lake. Let me zoom in. Yep, okay, there's Dog Lake. Yeah, we're headed the right direction. Oh yeah, we are definitely headed the right direction. Okay. Alright. I'm flying the paint off my C-170B, but the pits S1 is starting to grow on me. Nice. Excuse me. Didn't mean to cough in your ear. So we're definitely headed the right direction. So once we get past these mountains, or this area right here, this ridge, we should see Mono Lake. Oh, there's wildlife right there. Yosemite black bears, yep. There are black bears in the area. It's the one thing they will warn you about if you camp at Yosemite. Let's have a... Oh, I never acknowledged my radar
Froggy
contact.
2377.
My co-pilot was not up to... Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. And Lee Vining or Vinning, that's where we're going to land at, because there's that little airport right there. See if we can capture the... for whatever reason, it's still showing that pattern entry. I don't know. I wish I could figure out a way to get rid of it so I can check out the black bears, but it's not letting me do that. Everybody wave to the black bears from a safe distance. Worry about your being mangled by the bear. You don't have to throw your friend at them and run. Now it looks like when they took this, it has like this, almost like there's a permanent snow here, even though we don't have the weather turned on. Don't feed the bears. Yeah, exactly. Yes, it seems like this geometry or whatever they call it just has a permanent feeling of snow right here. Yeah, it's not letting me capture them. Oh well. Okay, unless you're, yeah. Alright, there's Mono Lake ahead. Let me see if it's a saline soda lake in Mono County, California, formed at least 760,000 years ago as a terminal lake in an endorheic basin. The lack of an outlet causes high levels of salt to accumulate in the lake and makes its water alkaline. The desert lake has an unusually productive ecosystem based on brine shrimp, which thrive in its waters and provides critical habitat for 2 million annual migratory birds that feed on the shrimp and alkali flies. Historically, the native Kutsadika people ate the alkali flies pupaia, which live in the shallow waters around the edge of the lake. When the city of Los Angeles diverted water from the freshwater streams flowing into the lake, it lowered the lake level, which imperiled the migratory birds. The Mono Lake Committee formed in response and won a legal battle that forced Los Angeles to partially replenish the lake level. There you go. Bit of history there. There's your history lesson for today. You're welcome. As they like to say, oh, there's Mount Dana. Okay, I did see that on the map. So now you know, and knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. So we'll go out across Mono Lake. You're welcome, Sue. And we'll call in. Matter of fact, we'll go ahead and ask, see if we can get landing pattern now, so we know which way to go.
Oscar 2-4 traffic, Froggy 2377, 4 miles west, 13,900 feet inbound to land, runway 15.
There we go. All right, perfect. So we'll have a nice come in over the edge of the lake there. We put this bad boy on the ground nice and easy. Call it a day. Do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Hopefully it's been a nice, enjoyable Sunday for you. Some nice scenery. Bring a little peace and quiet, so to speak. Now I don't know. There is like this island out here, but I don't think that's like a natural island. I think kind of going back to what happened with Los Angeles. You know, when they diverted water out of here, that island probably was not very visible at all. So. But I don't think you can get out there on that island. I would imagine they prefer things to be as quite undisturbed as possible. We'll go over this way and then we'll circle back around the lake and then come in for our pattern entry there. We'll kind of cross over that little island there. Interesting that there's, with the propeller, there's a reflection of the plane. I'm looking at it as we fly. That's kind of crazy. You can see the shadow of the plane as the propeller goes. Anybody else seeing that? It's kind of cool. Of course, you don't see it from this angle, but if you just find, look at that. It's kind of crazy. Throw on the landing lights. Just so that we're set to go. Okay, you kind of get a sense from, I would imagine much closer in real life, the salt content of the lake is probably more pronounced on the shores than it is from what we can see up here. And you can see, if you look at a real world photo of Mono Lake, you can see the water lines over the years where it used to be compared to where it is now. It's very interesting how you, especially towards this end of the lake off the right wingtip, like the water level used to be way higher than it is right now. You can kind of see the circles, you know, the lines. I think you kind of get a sense here, but not it. The photos are probably way, you know, give you a greater sense. And it's kind of sad when you look at it, the photo, how far out this lake used to be. And I don't think you would, you know, given how far out it was and maybe even the depth, this probably was not anywhere, maybe just the very tips of the rocks were out of the water, but I would imagine, you know, everything else was probably pretty well submerged. I think it even went out as far as here in this area. You know, I think it's kind of unfortunate that Ansel Adams, I don't think he ever made it out to Mono Lake. I might be wrong. But I think a lot of his conservation efforts were around Yosemite, but I think if it would have been really kind of interesting to see him document the changes of Mono Lake. I think it would have been very powerful images, quite honestly. And it may have actually possibly kind of gotten people involved to stop it before it got to the point that it is right now. At least I would hope so, but you never know. think if you look at the photos too of Model Lake, there's the kind of these salt formations around the edge there that are, a lot of people go there to take pictures of that because especially the way the light that just hits just right, it's very otherworldly. Alright, we'll just make our way around the edge here and we'll circle around and get ready to land. Hope everybody's enjoyed this today. I don't know if Nick's been taking notes at all. I think he's had to kind of lay off the note-taking for a while. So next Sunday, we're flying around Washington, D.C. Should be good. And Spitfire Saturday, we'll be flying in America. And then we'll take the T-45C through the Mach Loop. Should be a bit of fun. It's not a super fast jet, but it'll be a kind of a fun plane to fly through there, I think. And I think the 2 Sundays from now, we won't take the F-18. We're going to take the MB-339 through there. Be a nice little, fun little jet plane to fly through there as well. So yeah, we got some good flights planned out for the rest of the month of December. But yeah, look at the, you could just see from here even the water level lines over many years to where it's at now. Even look how different it is now. What? Oh, it's a little trainer jet. It's I think the Italian Air Force uses it, and then like their flight demonstration team uses it as well. So yeah, it's going to be a fun little plane to fly, I think, through the Mach Loop. But I'm going to look for the American version, and we'll add that to the Sunday or Saturday, Spitfire Saturday repertoire. I think after the 15th we won't be doing Spitfire Saturdays for the last few Sundays or Saturdays of the year. We're going to do some point-to-point flying and all that. I think the 15th is the last, 12, the 19th might be the last Scenic Sunday, so we're gonna knock out some flights and some different planes and get all right, let's get ready to land. But I'm glad at least we did this, and we'll bring it back at the beginning of the year. We'll find some more interesting places to. I think it's called. I'll put a chat. Let's see, MB. There you go. That's I can't. Aramiki or Aramaki or something like that is the manufacturer. But yeah, they're like the trainer for pilots in Italy, and then also like I think they can be used for some combat missions. Not to the extent of, you know, an actual fighter aircraft like the Eurofighter or something like that, but I think it's primarily like a trainer for new pilots. Kind of like what the T-45 Charlie is for naval aviators. But it's a fun little plane. It's a fairly straightforward startup. I don't think the checklist, the automated checklist that we could normally have our co-pilot take care of is... Yeah, it's an Italian company. Exactly, Mel. I think they're like contracted with the government of Italy to provide those aircraft for their Air Force. And then their, like I said, their flight demonstration team, which is similar to like the Blue Angels and the Thunderbirds, uses them. And it's got where the weapons are normally at, they have like smoke canisters with different colors that when they fly they hit the switch and then red or blue or some color of smoke will come out the weapon pod or whatever. I think they usually use red, but they may have other colors. Alright, there's our pattern entry. Oh look, the sun's going down just in time too. We're gonna land before it gets, well, it's probably just about dark or close to dark when we land, but there we go, nice sunset landing after our nice flight through Yosemite there. Yeah, look at the... It's almost like an alien landscape from the picture that I've seen. It does have like an alien landscape to it, which is very interesting, but it's sad that it's, you know... I tell you, I have some very weird neighbors. Okay, good, Captain Maddie. Ooh, I have mail coming today too. Almost forgot. Ordered a few things. Amazon. Did get the flight simulator logbook off of Amazon. So, looking forward to getting that today. Should be here today, actually. I was just thinking about that. I was looking at the date and I was like, oh, it should be here today. So, yep, I'm going to crack that open and be using that for the notes for the upcoming flights. Try to keep the notes a little bit better organized. Alright, we will turn here momentarily into the pattern entry. Go ahead and get the flaps down so we can start slowing down a bit. Well, that slowed down quickly. Might as well just put both flaps down then. So we have that set to go. Landing lights on. Ready. Hope everybody enjoys the rest of their Sunday, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the case may be. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. Who was our first? Oh, Bella. There we go. On behalf of myself and First Officer Mela, I do like to thank you today for flying with us. We know. We understand. We acknowledge that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. There's a plethora of them out there. We know that. We're glad that you chose us. We look forward to flying with you tomorrow in the Greek Isles. We'll be on the ground in Lee Vining shortly. There you go. There's your semi-professional appreciation from the flight crew. Doesn't get any better than that. Well done. Mela, have some breakfast cake. There you go. There's your reward, breakfast cake. Or no, even better, breakfast beef patties. There we go. Mela's gonna find some breakfast beef patties now to celebrate the flight. Matter of fact, I've no doubt in the little town of Lee Vining, I'm sure there's a mom and pop hamburger joint that probably serve a really mean cheeseburger. And I don't mean mean in a bad way either. How are we going too slow? like to award the first officer rank for whoever's the first in the chat. Captain's discretion. Oh, look at those lighting here as we come into the runway. That's really nice. It's real nice, I like to say. Nice way to end the scenic flight on Sunday. Nice sunset here. Wasn't planned that way, it just kind of happened that way. I was hoping for, like I said, a morning flight that the sun would have come up on its own and we would have had some nice lighting that way, but it is what it is. Not look at the chat here until we're on the ground, so I do apologize in advance if I miss anything. I'll read your comment once we are on the ground. Thank you for your patience. Well, at least this is a nice well-lit runway. Got to get lined up a little bit better here. Oops. Well, there we are. Ta-da. And that is how we do that. Let's taxi down to the end here, and then we'll pull off runway. Nice way to end the flight. We had a nice, smooth landing. Appreciate that. It's always a good thing to have. Yeah, thank you, Amela. Tip of the hat to First Officer Amela once again. We had plenty of runway to work with, that's for sure. We could have hovered over the runway a little bit longer if we wanted, but that's okay. I don't think that's the parking spot either. I think there's like a little airport down here at the end. We'll pull off the runway there and park it. Oh, thank you, Sue. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Always nice to share a bit of my home state with everybody. There's a little There's a... Let's announce that we've landed. Hold this open. Just kind of taxi over here to the that's nice that they left the lights on for us. Well, I guess that's the taxiway all the way at the end there. Oops, a daisy. There we go. All right, and then let's go ahead and shut. Magnetos are already off. There we go. Ta-da! There we go, hour and a half, roughly. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. Once again, I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. And I will see you tomorrow in the Greek Isles. Should be a nice flight. Take care until then. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Peace. Live long and prosper.